Alright, so this is a random thought, right? I should have called the random thought any the fuck way, but I'm not. So, there's this concept in push, right? And this happens in regular life, but there's this concept in push of divorce between rich, powerful black couples, right? There's this concept that takes place. Now, I did a reading on Jay-Z and Beyonce, and I said don't do it because it wasn't just about them, period. Unfortunately, it should be just about them, but it's just simply not. Anyway, you know what? I think I might rename this live any the fuck way. So anyway, there's this push, this energy or process that I already saw many years ago, where there's wealthy, rich, black people who are couples, who are married, who are pushing a particular concept amongst black society. And so, in that, you have a whole realm. Now, I'm not saying that this is actual facts. I'm not saying that this is not gossip. I'm not saying that because I'm not doing a reading. I'm not saying any of those things. I'm not saying that it's false and not. And really, I'm not married. So, therefore, it's not really affecting me the way that it might affect other people. But what I'm saying is this. Overall, the concept is that we can't be black, wealthy, rich, happy, married, stable, with firm foundations, own things. And so those who promote that, whether it's intentional or non-intentional, here you go with all of these feeds on social media talk about this one divorce, that one, this one divorce, that one divorce, this one, you know, and then it makes one feel that you can be wealthy, successful, and valid and together. And that's a bad vibe. That's a bad vibe. Now, I'm not perfect, so I'm sure I'm giving off some bad vibes. But this is a bad vibe. You know, I was looking at, not even being funny, I was looking at lots and lots and lots and lots of years ago. I looked at an interview. And I saw that interview and I already understood that they was going to try to create some type of scenario where there had to be a separation between a potentially strong black couple. Period. And so, that's not cool. At all. And so, as a whole, excuse me, I'm interrupting myself. As a whole, we shouldn't even entertain it. As a whole, we should not even give it power. Period. Now, not saying that these individuals are always right or they perfect or everything is always good or they always up or any of that. Let's look at it like a logo. Let's say that the logo is strong, wealthy, healthy, happy, black people. I don't want that. So, either I'm going to try to create the narrative that it is not possible, or I'm going to try to infiltrate that natural magnetism to make it seem like it's not possible. And so, amongst the many, it's not possible. Because they know that many have weak minds. Many have weak minds. I said in a reading that I did I said in a couple of readings, don't do it. It's great seers that understand that the view is necessary. Even being me, you know, even being myself, it's still like, it's still important. Does it determine whether you're going to be happy, married, and stable? No. It's the logo. It's the logos. It's the concept of being able to see that. That's important. Regardless, outside of music, outside of art, outside of dance, outside of family, these things are still important. Whether we choose to take on that or not, it's still important. So, I'm looking at the feed. It's Jay-Z and Beyonce, quote-unquote, divorce. I'm not saying that it's valid. I'm not doing a reading. I'm not saying it's valid. All right. All of these years, they promoting this. Indirectly, right? And then, all of a sudden, bow, everybody is going for a divorce. Why? How come? For what? Why? I'm only saying this because I've never been married, but if I was to be married, I'm not divorcing you. Like, you're going through hell and high water. So, the question is, why would that be promoted? And let's just say, we're just using this as an example. If these two separated, who is Jay-Z going to be with and who is Beyonce going to be with? Where it's going to actually make sense at this point. I'm not saying that it's impossible, but I'm just asking the general question. Who is Jay-Z ass gonna be with and who is Beyonce ass gonna be with? Jay-Z got hella money and hella power, and so does Beyonce. Who is Beyonce fitting to be with? This don't even require a reading. Everybody ask a question. Who is Beyonce gonna be with peacefully in real life? I don't see it. It doesn't make sense at this point. Why? Because the universe already put it in place. Those are logos. Not to be negative, outside of business, outside of music, outside of art. Who would these people be with? And this is the sticky, icky part of fame. Because they become logos. They become standards. And us as general society forget that, these, logo, standards, images, that's what it becomes. And when it's broken in, it kind of has a ripple effect, unfortunately. So they put themselves, I'm not going to say they put themselves, but they end up in a position where even their marriages hold the responsibility over how the majority see reality. I don't feel like it's the end of the world personally, but there's a great majority that may feel that way. It's the end of the world. It's the end of a concept. It's the end of a way of viewing things. It's a concept of, I could not imagine, I can't imagine seeing at this point, and I'm not saying me personally, but there's groups of individuals that could not imagine seeing Jay-Z without Beyonce, could not imagine seeing Kevin Gates without Drika, could not imagine seeing Dirk without India. There's groups of individuals, it's even groups of individuals that might not even be able to see Michael Jackson without Presley. It's concepts. Is it reality? No, it's not reality. But this is how the majority sees things. And this is why fame is a sticky thing. Fame is a sticky thing because it starts to impose on people's, personal situations. It's like you can't even imagine Obama without Michelle. You can't imagine Clinton without Hillary. These things are non-imaginable to the masses. And so it becomes a sticky situation. in real life. It doesn't make it reality. It makes it a concept. It makes them logos. And when you make yourself a logo, therefore the responsibility is now beyond your marriage, is beyond your personal shenanigans, is beyond your personal beef, is beyond your finances, is beyond your emotions. Now is your marriage is controlling the concept of millions or billions of it's a weird situation. Hi. It's a weird, very weird situation. I couldn't even imagine being in that situation. I couldn't imagine being married to somebody as a celebrity, and my marriage literally determines or controls the views of millions of individuals. I couldn't even imagine it. But me being a selfless individual, I'm the individual that probably would have just stayed in the marriage. I would keep it 100, but I would stay in the marriage because I'm a logo. And it's important. I would stay in the marriage for that. I would settle in the marriage for that. I would learn to be happy in the marriage for that, because it's a logo. It's a logo, is a concept that we can be happy, healthy, wealthy, successful, and be married, and go through hell and high water and still be married. So, me personally, that would be a sacrifice. That would be my personal sacrifice to all those who look up to me, or, potentially that would just be my personal sacrifice. That's just me. I would still tell the truth and be like, hey, I don't like my wife, or I don't like my husband, but I'm here because it's important. This is why, it's important for people to pay attention to why they get married. Did you get married for money? Did you get married for fame? Did you get married for stability? Did you get married for love? Did you get married to keep your name? What did you get married for? That's how I would see it. And this is why it's important still, even though marriage is a business and can be a business, it's still important to marry for the love of the individual. If you're married for the love of the individual, then you're going to be, you married to the logos, you married to the concept. People get married for money, for stability, for fame. You marrying me because of my name. Marry me because of me. Because when you marry me because of me, then you have a broader perspective of why you married. It's a logo. It's an image that's promoted and projected to millions and billions of people, whether you see it or not. And so, it's important. It's important. Even if I was in that position where I'm that famous, I'm Jay-Z and Beyonce famous, and I'm married and I don't want to be with you, I'm not going to say not a goddamn thing, because I still want everybody that's younger than me, that's in the same industry as me, I want y'all to still want y'all to seek that. It's a lack of selfishness. Now, you go into the 444 album, and Holmes is literally telling you that is a hierarchy that's going to be pissed off about the things that he's speaking about. If my husband made some shit like that, I listen to the 444 album. If my husband made some shit like that and all hell broke loose and I'm not divorcing my husband, why did he say that in the first place? Why did he make a whole 444 album, told you that niggas gonna be hella mad that he made the album, and therefore you already know chaos is gonna take place? There's no way in hell I'm leaving my husband, because I already know chaos is about to take place. This is what happens when we pay attention. Whether this is illusion or whether it's facts, regardless of the fact, There's no way in hell that I'm gonna leave my husband after he made some shit like the 444 album and told everybody that all hell was gonna break loose. Whether he was right or wrong in business, that's irrelevant. That's a different story. You already married him. You already stuck to that. There's no way in hell you gonna make the 444 album tell millions of people that all hell gonna break loose. Niggas is gonna be mad as all hell. Excuse my language. People gonna be mad as all hell that I actually made it. That I actually said what I said within that album, and I'm gonna leave my husband. I'm not doing none of that. I'm not doing none of that, because I already know that he said that in his music to communicate with certain individuals, and this happens in all music. It happens in all art. It happens in paintings. It happens in music. It happens in dance. It happens in all arts. There's no way in hell that I'm about to do that. Because he already said it. So I already know what's coming. So I'm sitting tight. That's me personally. That's me personally. And yeah, you know the individual on a personal level, and you know their flaws, and you know they lacks, and you know all of those things about them on a personal level. So the question is, do these women that marry these men of status and wealth, do they listen to their music in totality? Consciously or subconsciously, do you listen to what they're saying so that you don't do it? I don't think so. I could not be in that position. Because at the end of the day, I'm just simply not going anywhere. I haven't gone anywhere prior to the 444 album. So where am I going right now? I haven't gone anywhere prior to this album. So where am I going? It makes no sense to me. People have to think like that. It's certain things that a husband may not be able to directly say to his wife. So I'm going to put it in my art, because we in the same industry. We have the same art. You're supposed to be able to read my art. And this is the problem with people. Let's say I'm a singer, my husband's a rapper. I sing because that's my passion. He rap because I cannot sit here and have a conversation with you about what's really going on. So I put it in my music. If you my wife, then you listen to all of my music. You understand what's going on. And so I don't have to speak to you. I should be able to speak to you in my art. This is why, I look at a lot of, couples in the industry, and I be like, what the fuck? Because they're not understanding that there's lots going on that cannot be said directly for certain reasons. So I put it in my art. You are supposed to be my spouse. You're supposed to know everything about me. Study my art. There's no way in the world that I'm with any type of artist. Whether it's a painting, I'm going to study your painting. Whether it's a picture, I'm going to study your picture. Whether it's some music, I'm going to study your music. Period. How can you be married to an individual that creates and produces? And this is not only in music, art, and dance. This is in business, whatever. And you don't study me. You're not my wife. You're not my husband. You don't study me. You don't know me. Period. You didn't study me. So anyway, that's just another one of Sky's random thoughts with a bonnet on today. I'll talk to y'all later. Deuces.